Well, welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. Another trade grenade, Jack Ginnivan. Let's get into it. So this one just came out of absolutely left field. Graham Wright was on Trade Radio yesterday. He was asked a question by, I think, Damien Barrett. Has there been any talks about Jack Ginnivan or anything like that? Especially with like the Lockie Schultz acquisition coming in. And Graham Wright said, no, we haven't fielded any calls from other clubs. We definitely don't want to get rid of Jack Ginnivan. He's a premiership player. He's a required player. By all accounts, he had a great exit meeting with Fly and stuff like that. And that was how we left it. And we thought, awesome. There's no movement on Jack Ginnivan. We didn't think there was going to be. The Lockie Schultz thing, the Lockie Schultz acquisition and the trade, him coming in, I don't think it would have sort of played on anyone's sort of mind. We need those reinforcements. And like I said in my video yesterday, it just makes all our forwards work harder, whether that be Jack Ginnivan, whether that be Bo McCreary, Bobby Hill, Jamie Elliott, etc., etc., etc. So I don't think that had any bearing, and I still don't think it has any bearing. But as of right now, recording this video at lunchtime, there has been a lot of developments. And like I said, trade grenade. Jack Ginnivan wants out of the club. Well, not Jack Ginnivan himself, because we haven't heard from Jack Ginnivan, but his management has called the club and said, look, we're going to start requesting trades, or we're going to start looking at trade opportunities for Jack Ginnivan. The club was apparently blindsided by this. Jack just came back from Bali. By some reports, Tom Morris and Sam Edmund and a couple other guys, he had a meeting with Hawthorn today, who have put together a 4-year deal for him. And this has taken social media by storm and is just a big punch in the gut. So let's break down a little bit of what's going on, or everything that we have so far. Like I said, as of yesterday late afternoon, there were no calls for Jack Ginnivan. He was a required player at Collingwood. As of today, this afternoon, Jack Ginnivan's management have told Collingwood that they're looking at trade options, and Jack Ginnivan is likely to go, and Hawthorn are up to their necks in Jack Ginnivan talk. He's had a meeting with the Hawks, and that's all we know so far. So what can we ascertain for this? We can ascertain that Collingwood don't want to get rid of Jack Ginnivan. He's a premiership player. He's a required player at this club. Yes, there's lots of stuff that he can do to sort of get himself back into the best 23, but that's 2024 stuff, right? That's not right now. As of right now, he's a required player at this football club. Jack Ginnivan's management, I don't know if it's the Lockie Schultz thing that they're sort of scared of. I don't know if it's anything else. They've said, Pies, we're looking at trades. Hawthorn are interested. Now, Hawthorn have I was going to say a bad word. Hawthorn don't have a good draft hand, right? I think their first pick... Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't be their first pick, but it'll be like their next sort of pick is like pick 33 or something like that. Is that a straight swap for Jack Ginnivan? I don't think so. A premiership player is not going to go for pick 33 unless the Pies, and like my mate Justin said in some messages before, unless the Pies just want to get rid of the hassle and get rid of him for pick 33, kind of like what we did with Stevenson, kind of like, with Treloar, Ollie Henry and stuff like that. So what does that mean now? It's pretty crazy, right? To think that a premiership player wants out of a club that backed him in from everything. Most recently, going to the races the night before the grand final, right? On grand final eve, Graham Wright said, yeah, that's fine, boys will be boys. Fly at his presser wasn't happy about it, right? Still played the grand final, still got a premiership medal. All these other little things, and yes, some of the attention that's been on Jack Ginnivan has been by the media, has been by social media, has been by opposition supporters and clubs, right? So you can't sort of blame him for that. There was that drug incident at the start of, was it at the start of this year? Yeah, it was at the start of preseason this year. So he missed 6 weeks or whatever it was. And, clubs stood by him, and we've stood by him time and time again. And I think Fly is one of the best teachers and obviously coaches going around, and it's just such a good environment at the club. It's that sort of family environment and that culture that we're building. It's a great place to manifest your football destiny, and we saw that with a premiership this year, and Jack Ginnivan was a part of that premiership. What does it mean if he leaves though? Now, this is the million-dollar question. We don't want him to leave. We want him to fight for his spot, because that's what football is. Football isn't, not that I've played professional football, but football isn't just a walk-up start. You have to fight for your spot. Look at someone like Oleg Markov, right? After the preliminary final win against the Giants, who he played a starring role in that game, Brian Taylor went up to him, BT went up to him after the game and said, you're playing in the grand final next week. And Markov's like, nah, I'm not playing in the grand final next week. I've got to come into training on Monday and I've got to work for my spot again. That is the sort of desire, that is the sort of mentality that you want at this football club. And that is what Fly is fostering at the club. So we need all our players to buy into that. It sounds like Jack Ginnivan's management, I don't know if it's coming from Ginnivan himself, but it sounds like from Ginnivan's management, they're not buying into that. And they just want a walk-up start. And it looks like Hawthorn are promising him a walk-up start. Now, is this a win-win for both clubs? I don't really know. Like I said at the start of the video, you need that depth in all areas of your team, forward line, back line, midfield. And look at some guy like Finn McRae. He could have left as well. He could have gone to the Doggies with his brother, or he could have gone to Hawthorn or wherever he wanted to go as a walk-up start. But he wants to fight for his spot in a Collingwood team that, is going to try and go back-to-back. Now, it sucks. We love Jack Ginnivan. I love Jack Ginnivan. But like I said, as of right now, he hasn't come out and said anything. The Pies haven't, come out and said anything other than Jack Ginnivan's management have reached out to them to initiate some sort of trade. He's contracted until 2024, and he could still be at the club next year. So, this just might be getting blown up by the media. And I don't think, I really don't know what Jack Ginnivan is worth on the open market. I would say an early second rounder. He's definitely not going to get an early first rounder for him. I don't think Pick 33 does it. I'd need something in the 20s, I reckon, in my opinion. If Hawthorn think what's his name, Justin Kaczynski, is worth pick 24 or something, and Geelong think Radaglia is worth pick 25, Ginnivan's probably worth around the same, in my honest opinion, because he is elite, right? Yes, he has some behavioural issues, and he could, work a little bit harder in some sort of aspects, but he's an elite kick. He kicked 40 goals in his second season for the Fly. So last year he kicked 40 goals. He knows where the goals are. He's exciting. He gets the crowd going as much as he gets the team going. So it would be a shame to see him leave. And it'll be a shame to see him leave because the Pies don't want him to leave. They love him. They want him at the club. They've wrapped their arms around him for so long. And now to sort of break that trust, not that we know that he's definitely leaving or not, but if that happens and he sort of breaks that trust, and it's no holds barred next year when we play the Hawks and he's in brown and yellow, if that's what, or brown and gold, if that's what it turns to. But as of right now, it's just not speculation, but it's just very, very interesting, very curious, because tomorrow, that's it. Trade deadline is done. We've got until tomorrow to see. And remember, this goes down to the wire. We got Tom Mitchell into the club with 2 minutes or like a minute left of the trade period. So anything can bloody happen. Hold on to your hats, grab the popcorn, and we'll see what goes on. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shaggers. I'll swoop you later.